It's a big story we've been tracking since this morning of India having launched a blistering attack in response to the Pakistani provocation on the border areas. BSF Jawans fighting back mortar shelling by Pakistan on civilian areas. These visuals are of the Indian fight back coming in from the Arispura sector earlier in the day. This renewed response coming as Pakistan targeted government schools and banks in Jammu and Kashmir. Overnight firing continued from the Pakistani side, targeting at least 60 BSF posts. 11 people have been reportedly injured in the overnight firing. Remember, politically, Prime Minister Modi has come under criticism for not paying enough attention to the fast deteriorating situation along the international border. We have Shiv Arur joining us on the phone line for more on this big story. Shiv, describe to us really how the situation has evolved from when this firing began last night.
Aviral, there's been firing that's been on intermittently almost right through the night, both at the Arispura sector on the international border, as well as in 3 to 4 areas, including Balakot and the Krishna Ghati sector of Poonch on the line of control. So the actual aggression that Pakistan has shown has not gone down at all. It's actually continued right through the night. Those pictures that we have of the Ranveer Singh Pura sector in Jammu, where you see people fleeing, those are part of the, over 16,000 people who've been rehabilitated. They've been evacuated from their villages and rehabilitated in about 10 to 15 camps that have been set up by the BSF, the army and the state administration away from the line of fire. Now, on the right, the pictures that you're seeing, as Rajnath Singh, the Home Minister, said, the retaliatory orders had been given 4 days ago. Sometime over the weekend is when the orders really came, to sort of give back bullet for bullet, shell for shell to everything that Pakistan was doing. Now, these are the first pictures, Aviral, of that actual counter-strike. These are pictures from Ranveer Singh Pura sector, where a large part of the damage actually took place. And as you can see, the weapon being used by the BSF in these pictures is an 81mm mortar, which is almost exactly the kind of weapon that Pakistan has been using. We've been receiving information from our sources in military intelligence that Pakistan has also been using slightly heavier weapons, 120mm mortars, which would count as artillery as well. But so far, India has not employed any artillery because the forces are under strict instructions not to escalate. All right, Shiv, we'll leave it at that for now. Thanks very much for getting us all those details. The bottom line being, the government has told the BSF to really contain Pakistan at this point in time. But as Shiv was saying, Pakistan has continued to provoke India as Pakistan Rangers continue to target civilian areas. More than 60 BSF posts have been attacked overnight shelling. BSF forces have retaliated in equal measure. Our team of reporters are spread along the international border. They sent us these ground reports.
This season of the year is being considered as most favorable season for the infiltration of militants on line of control. I am here on the line of control in one of the maize fields in one of the villages just in parallel to the line of control. It is very easy for militants or infiltrators to hide in these high maize crops, and easily they could not be located or identified. The security agencies believe that the ongoing tension on the line of control is basically a kind of shadow and facilitation for infiltration. That is why not only the line of control, the army and the security forces have enhanced security grid in the other areas near line of control so that these infiltration bids could be foiled. With cameraman Rauf Ahmed, Ashraf Wani for Headlines Today on line of control in Poonch.
Can you imagine an entire village being devastated by Pakistani shelling and firing? As the day turns to evening and evening to night, the fear sets in. These small children, they don't even know what's happening to them. They don't know what fear is yet. But their families live in fear for their own children. And you can see this entire women, all these men, women, children all out here, they're all looking for security, something which they can't find in their own homes right now. आप ये बताइए शेलिंग और फायरिंग हो रही है जब शाम से अंधेरा होता है आपके दिल में की धड़कनें बनी
सुबह होनी नहीं है हमें तो ये लगता है कि बस आज रात जो है हमारी लास्ट रात है हमारी सुबह होनी नहीं है अनसर्टेनिटी कितनी है ना हमें लाइफ की कि हमें अपने घर बार सब छोड़ के यहाँ पे स्कूल में बैठे हुए हैं हम लोग और जो मिनिस्टर लेवल है, दिल्ली में सारे मिनिस्टर बैठे हुए हैं, सीएम है, जो भी है, उनको तो ना कोई फायरिंग हो रही है। वो पाकिस्तान वालों से बात क्यों नहीं करते? गरीब लोगों को मार के क्या मिलेगा उनको?
So obviously shelling is happening, firing is happening, but obviously there are people who are seething with anger. All these people who obviously want that some solution should come inside in that entire firing, and you can see a lot of people who are standing here, they want an answer from the government, they're not getting any answer. They will try and speak to more people. आप ये बताइए, जो शेलिंग होती है, फायरिंग होती है, क्या सोचते हैं, कितना डर लगता है?
बहुत डर लगता है, बहुत डर लगता है। इतना फैल करता है इधर, तोबा तोबा, एक मिनट सिगरेट नहीं गिना बंद हुआ दी। थोड़ा डर लगता है, निकल का बच्चा है मारा, हम कंगा जावा के हम खामा के पिया में सी मारी वही मार गई बच्चा, हम कंगा फिर आज ले गए, ना कोई कार ना कोई कराहट कोई कुछ के तो खराब नहीं।
So they move baggage out here with their own cattle, their own whatever they could really travel and get it. Well, we'll try and speak to more people out here. You from an NGO, do tell us, what is the security system? And obviously a lot of assurances coming in from the government. We see ministers who are lining up, who are actually speaking to people. But what is the sort of impact? What do these people really need?
In fact, people from state government, local administration is geared up. They are doing a lot to settle these peoples. But certain steps which are required for permanent security, they are not being taken by anybody. Honorable Minister from PM office, Dr. Jatinder Singh, he was just here half an hour ago.
But you know, the ministers keep coming and going. These are the people who are facing that fire, facing that shelling. So what do these people, what is the permanent solution? You think there should be some solution where both people living in the borders as well as something as secure as the border should be made to feel safe for these people?
First of all, these people should be settled somewhere far away from the border. Secondly, Government of India should take firm decision and firm steps to curtail this type of militancy.
आप ये लोग ये बताइए, आप लोग क्या बॉर्डर से दूर रहना चाहते हैं? आप लोग क्या अलग रहना चाहते हैं कि आपको अपने घर में ही रहना है वहाँ पे?
हम ये चाहते हैं कि हमारी जो घर छोड़ कर आए, हमें कोई एडजस्टमेंट ऐसी दी जाए कि हमारा माल मवेशी, हमारे बच्चे अच्छी तरह रह सकें। हम भी चाहते हैं कि हमारी ज़िंदगी अच्छी तरह बसर हो। हम थोड़ा चाहते हैं कि अपनी वहाँ मौत आगे लेने चाहते हैं, हमें भी कोई जगह दे पीछे, वहाँ पे हमारे बच्चे बैठ सके, हमारा माल, हम अपना माल मवेशी पाल सकें।
So obviously you see a lot of disturbed faces out here, and these are the people who don't have destiny in their own hands. It is obviously depending very much on the Pakistani shells which have not ceased. So obviously these people are looking for an answer which they are not finding. With camera person Ravi Kant, this is Kamaljeet Sandhu in Chakrohi for Headlines Today.
Most of the villagers from the Pargawal area, they have migrated from the border area to the safer place, Pargawal High Secondary School. But they have only one fear: if Pakistan will change the action of the gun, they will be targeted here. Ashwini Kumar for Headlines Today in Akhnur.
We are at the last village in Arnia. The village wears a desolate look. There is nobody, absolutely nobody here. The people have been forced to flee. Now here we see a trench which is used by the BSF as a firing position for Pakistan. And as soon as they've fired a couple of rounds, they rush to the bunker, which we can see on our right. Though it looks quite basic, it is enough to save lives of many. We're told that in the villages there are such bunkers where people can come in the face of shelling, but they do not have as much time that they can come to these bunkers and save their lives. We're told that the first 5 people who lost their lives, 4 of them were trying to reach a bunker when shell hit them.
Pakistan has shown by its action that it cannot be trusted again. Continuous ceasefire violations and opening new fronts, it only means that Pakistan is becoming more aggressive and raising the Kashmir rant once again. But BSF and the army are giving a befitting response at both the borders and line of control. With camera person Ravi Kant, this is Kamaljeet Sandhu in Jammu for Headlines Today.